In the bottom left, our Zerg player in the red. He is.
Samsung Galaxy Khan Solar.
In the upper right, in the purple.
Yo Flash Wolves Parting.
I think that's a wolf on his shirt.
Well, it's a flash wolf, to be precise.
Oh, right.
All right. So we actually have the, I guess you'd call them better spawns here. The games can be much more normal in these spawns as opposed to the other ones.
We already have Solar coming out here with the drone. Got to do a little bit of scouting to the upper right.
Definitely wants to be going for a hatch first here, so not going to leave anything to chance. Parting, getting a gateway right off. I think that's probably pretty smart of him. It looks like it's a, well, I can't tell quite yet, but could be one of these builds where you just go gateway into like a Nexus. In fact, yeah, it looks like that is the case. But it's kind of smart on a map like this because this is a map where a lot of Zergs will do something like quick pull or quick speed opening with a quick pull. And if you just go Nexus first blindly against that, you will lose.
The real question is, where is he going to tech from? Back when Parting was the best in the world, nobody could stop him. He had this one build against Zerg, and he did it so many times. Everybody knew he was going to do it, and it didn't actually matter. He was just so perfect. He did this Immortal Sentry push.
Yeah. His control was perfect, and his understanding of the build was perfect.
Yeah. He would have come out with the optimal amount of units, like right about, like, what, 12.5 minutes or something?
He moved out at, I believe, 8:50.
8:50, excuse me. I'm way off on that. Oh, some support here for Solar.
That's right.
Thanks for coming down.
Solar's a badass.
You get GSL coins now.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah. But he would do this, that's right, it was at 8:50, and every single time on the dot he'd move out, and it was so perfect. There was just...
You couldn't stop
it. He'd even say, I'm going to do the build, and nobody's going to be able to stop this, and then, you know, patches and expansion packs came out, and it's not as effective anymore. But it's pretty impressive when you see somebody at that level of play perfect a build.
Yeah, he was
that is just, like, divine.
Completely a different level at it, and that really goes to show what his skill is. His skill is within his battle micro. And Solar kind of negated that last game because Blinding Cloud is like the anti-micro, basically.
Yeah.
You know, if someone goes for a Blinding Cloud and puts it on your stuff, it doesn't matter how good your micro is. You have to get outside of the Blinding Cloud.
Yeah. So the Cybernetic score is finished. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Well. And he was going to get that Stalker out here first. So the moment we're waiting for is actually when the Overlord is pushed out.
Yeah. He's starting a Mothership core here shortly as well, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, there it is. And
what was that cast we had like way back when the Mothership was used more regularly, and we had, who was it? I forget. One of the younger players. Guy went for the Mothership. We're like, well, that's a smart move because he's at that age where his mother might still have power over him.
I vaguely recall that.
Yeah, that was like 4 years ago, man.
Sentry on the way. Could point towards it being a quick third base. Parting not very wasteful with his gas in the early game. His build's normally pretty precise if he wants to do a rush. Of course, it could be a rush as well with sentries, like a gateway all-in, but it doesn't look like that yet.
He's making his 2 more gates. No clear tech just yet.
No forge quite yet either.
This map's sort of weird. You do want to get that entrance closed off. It's pretty far from your second base. It's almost like you have 3 bases. It's like the 2 expansions, and then you have this little ramp you have to control. Oh.
Definitely a lot of different areas to deal with. Does get that forge up, kind of like a safe forge timing here. So I think this is just going to be a third base, Staceless.
Sentry versus Overlord, my favorite fight to cast.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. The Overlord wins a lot of the time, but this time the Sentry will
usually
take
the Sentry just gets out, or the Overlord just gets out.
Yeah, not this time, though.
And we have a Roach Warren coming down here. And if he is going to push out for a third, that's completely fine.
He'll be taking it very soon if that's the case, like as soon as Warp Gate finishes.
There's a +1 attack.
Yeah, I mean, this has to just be a third base. So it looks like he wants to get into more of a macro game. Now, on 3 bases, you can cut probes, still do a very quick attack and whatnot. Solar on 3 bases has that Roach Warren about to finish up. Not really showing anything here. Doesn't want his opponent to truly know what's going on. Does see
Okay,
that
there it
probe,
is.
though. I mean, that Solar basically knows what's going on here.
He should.
Strongly suspects at the minimum.
Well, he knows for sure now that Link spotted that. And here he's going to wall up again. So this is a very different build than what we saw last time. Party went for a really specific, unusual tech route in the hopes that Solar would just get caught off guard. And that's not a bad idea to do in a best of 5, because sometimes if you just do this, I don't want to call it a throwaway build, but it's one of these builds,
Yeah.
it's like outside of the meta, it's not bad, but at the highest level of play, you won't win with it. But
Yeah.
sometimes when you get in settings like this, right, like we are here with the 8 best players in the world,
Yeah.
you don't expect them to do a DT rush like that,
Very
right?
true,
and
yeah.
so sometimes you just factor that out.
Yeah.
And who
So
knows?
you get a certain amount of like free wins with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, no matter what, win or lose, it's going to put the fear of craziness into your opponent's heart.
Exactly. Like if you lose that, if Party won that first game, Solar would be thinking, okay, my opponent's insane.
Yeah.
I have to like double down and factor
Yeah.
everything in, which is pretty tough. For instance, Party would not have done that build in a best of 3, because if he loses it, it's like, well, what are you doing that for to begin with? I mean, that's such a risk. Now you have to win 2 more games, and you did this gimmick build.
Yeah. Now, Parting actually just went all the way down, poked that third base for like a millisecond. He actually had enough units; he could have done a little bit of damage, but playing very safely here. Whoa.
Okay, is anybody watching the mini map here? Oh my God, what is happening? Okay,
Ooh,
that-
still using 2 force fields and losing a sentry.
what was that?
That
They're just like both driving on the same road. Like, wait a minute,
yeah.
that was weird. Okay,
Well, he has enough units; he's not going to die here. But with Hydralisk range on the way, the kind of concaves that you can get there, very, very scary. Parting is adding a bunch of gates now, so a lot of this should come down to the actual control of Parting. Will he be able to hold on against a massive Hydra Ling, maybe some Roaches attack?
now keep in mind, guys, Parting has some of the best control in the entire world
Yeah.
for Protoss, especially his force field. So it's definitely something he can pull off.
And, you know, right now we actually have Hive on the way again, so it looks like Solar once again wants to go into this very quick Viper push. And I'd love to see Parting kill it with this, because I lose to this all the time in the ladder with exactly what
Great,
Parting is doing.
Steal this build.
Like exactly what Parting is doing. But anyways, looks like some Speedling's just going to harass a bit. I like the extra photon cannons he's made here. And, you know, Templar Archives is on the way, so I think he is going to go right into Storm again. That's going to be his...
Well, this is really interesting, because that means that we're probably going to see this tech path for the rest of the series, going into Templars instead of Colossus.
It's gained a lot of popularity just because of builds like this.
Yeah.
If you try to go right, like, because you want to go Blink and +2 as quickly as possible, so that you actually have mobility if someone goes Stormhost or something, or if they go Muta or anything like that. Like, if you don't have Blink, it's just Protoss is like dead. But if you try to go Colossus with this and they do this build, you just die. So,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
this has been getting more popular, and I'm really glad to see that Parting is doing it quite often here.
We have a few more gates coming down here as Parting's going to get the rest of his tech tree set up and running on 3 bases. Very soon here, Solar is going to be attacking.
Yeah.
Solar now has all the gases he needs to power up. And it's going to be up to Parting to try to sneak out this 4th base. Now, one thing you want to be really careful about when you're in positions like this is Zerg can attack from a lot of different angles.
Very
sentries
true.
are not fast.
No, not so much.
Dare I say they be
Yeah.
slow.
He has to be in a really fantastic position, even more so than you would think because of Blinding Cloud. Because if he's back up against a wall and Blinding Clouds go down, he loses. So you have to kind of engage further up where it's more wide open, which is part of the reason why he has those gateways in front and a couple cannons there.
You
But
see those Templars hugging the Robo?
no, I didn't
He
see
needs
that.
to move that. There were like 5 Templars at the Robo.
Oh, maybe he's just hiding him for now?
Could be.
But
Okay,
yeah,
no, he
he
moved him.
needs
Thank
them.
God. Okay.
He has to hit very nice storms here. And this is actually quite a nice move. This might buy him a lot of time, and in fact, might even buy him a free base kill. Looks like we are going to see Solar go ahead and attack. It looks like he's actually going for the rocks. Oh, this is very interesting, but Parting has already walled this area off.
Yeah, Party's already prepared for that. Oh!
Oh my god, what a fantastic yoink.
Yoinked him right over there. It looks like he might be able to get the other Immortal here, too.
All right, very good feedback going down. We aren't going to see any Blinding Clouds, it looks like, and so this should be very holdable for him.
Seems like he should be aware these Colossi are fake. He hasn't targeted either of them down yet.
Yeah, I think he's quite aware of it. All right, we do have a pretty good time warp coming down. We don't have any Side Storms actually hitting. Looks like those units are in the back, all those High Templars. Not sure what energy they have anyways, but good force fields going
Is he
down.
actually going to get the Nexus here? I think he's targeting that down. Yeah, I think he is.
Is he going to?
Hold on.
I don't think so, but maybe. We'll see. Oh,
my God, he gets it.
Wow. Well, that's a very nice snipe, but he lost a lot of units.
Well, I think it's okay. He's already back to 178.
Yep.
So, and he has lots of minerals and gas, so I think he just holds down the R key. This is the strategy, guys. Pro tip here, the R key makes roaches.
Whoa.
Yeah. You don't have to spam R
I knew
30
you
times.
actually played this game,
You
Tasteless.
can, you can actually just hold down R and get as many roaches as you want, but the counterattack here might work before the roaches actually hatch out.
Well, that is a lot of roaches. He blinked forward, so doesn't have the blink for retreat here. He does have some force fields, though, so could get a nice trade. All right, good Blinding Cloud going on down defensively. Does start moving up with these roaches, actually using them Blinding Cloud. Well, he could have, but he didn't.
Yeah, well, he has another opportunity to use that a little bit later on here. Not enough energy. Oh, my God. The unit that is necessary to stop the roaches has just been pulled in and killed by the Viper.
Oh, man, 2 High Templars going down. Even going to lose some more, it looks like. Oh, he gets the 4th again, though.
Okay, that was a surprise.
Yeah, that's a very important moment. Parting really needs to be able to take this fight now, but he does not have any energy left. That is the end of his spells for this battle, which means only Blink Stalkers, but hey, Blink Stalkers.
Blink Stalkers are pretty good. He's going to try to chase him back here. He might be able to blink up again. There we see it now. Well, this is kind of funny. Just with Harass, he's going to get this. He got that top batch. He's going to get this one, too.
Well, that brings Solar down for the time being to 2 bases, and that's going to make it very hard for him to actually remake. You can't hold down the R key if you don't have any money.
This is true.
But actually, looking at his money, he could hold down the R key because he has enough.
Well, there's a chance that Solar could do another big counterattack and just try to hit pretty hard. The really strong teching units are not really there yet for Protoss. He still needs to remake Immortals, Templars.
Yeah, that is absolutely true, but I love this. Look, all the units went up to chase that Warp Prism, obviously a little bit of overkill, and now these Blink Stalkers going to town, forcing a cancel there on the 3rd. In fact, that was a kill. That was a kill on that 3rd
nicely
base.
done there. Again, this is, if Party was going to win a game here, this is the way he would be doing it. He's very tricky. He's really good at just kind of being everywhere and outmaneuvering his opponent. The question now is, can Party survive this next counterattack? He has a lot of Templars. I don't know how much Storm that's going to be, though. As well as an Immortal here.
All right, here we go. Some Side Storms being laid down, and, well, he does get beautiful Blinding Cloud right there, but this army is very soft for Solar at this point. Has to move back. I got to tell you, you know, the way that Parting's been playing this game in this series so far, if he wasn't a StarCraft pro, I think he would make an excellent children's magician.
I mean, at this point, I think Solar can still win, but it's going to be pretty tricky, especially if Parting can keep up the harass.
Yeah, and especially since he's adding a good amount of Immortals. I love that. Like, those Immortals are really important here.
Does he have any Vipers with that army? Yeah, he has one there. 2. Okay, so he should have enough to harpoon the 2 Immortals there.
Well, this is quite a few High Templars. We'll see if he can get the feedbacks up. Doesn't actually have that many Storms with these. Those are pretty low on energy.
I'm actually surprised he even pushed out with that, but I guess it's going to be okay if he has some more reinforcements come there. Was there no Observer with his army before? I think there was actually no Observer over this.
You might be right about that, but we haven't seen Burrow used once. He has one Observer somewhere on the map. Not sure exactly where,
That's
though.
true. Well, I was just thinking about pushing back Creep, you know?
Yeah, okay,
Because if he goes on the Creep, then you're going to know he doesn't have the Observer. He would have killed that.
Very, very true. Well, he does have that Observer now, but, you know, the thing is, behind this, he actually has 4 mining bases, so all he needs to do is just lose this army. Does have to blink away. Oh, those Blinding Clouds really wrecking these Immortals.
Oh my God, the Storms are so good.
Making a couple Archons here, 3 Archons in fact, going through this Blinding Cloud. Again, that Blinding Cloud doing a fantastic job, but this is way too much for Solar's army.
This Immortal has not been picked off yet, and actually surrendered. GG!
Nicely done.
Party wins game number 2. That was cool. You can even see it on his face. That was a game that looked like Solar was going to win.
Yeah.
And Party just had enough stuff going on everywhere on the map.
Yeah.
That Solar could not quite keep up.
Without the Zealots getting by and killing multiple hatcheries, definitely Solar could have taken that. As is, it was pretty close, even after he killed those hatches. So that shows how good Solar is right now. I mean, obviously, fantastically done by Parting. Very nice Side Storms and whatnot, but
we're going to be jumping,
exciting stuff, man.
We're going to be jumping right into set 3 here. Parting is clearly able to take on Solar, but these were two very different wins, Game 1 and Game 2. Solar was showing that he has a deep understanding of Zerg. You can't trick him. You can't outmaneuver him as far as strategy and builds go. But in Game 2, Parting showed that he is able to juggle just enough tasks that if Parting isn't... I mean, I feel like for that last game, it was like Solar was losing a game of whack-a-mole.
If Parting was...
Whack-a-parting?
If Parting was to become a Protoss hero, would he be Tascadar?
Oh, that's so dumb. Tascadar. Oh, man. King Sejong Station is map number 3 here.
Solar has a terrible record on this map, I noticed. I don't normally put a whole lot into that, but that is a stat that we were shown earlier on the screen.
Zerg do have a harder time in the late game on this map trying to get the other base up.
If they can get that fourth in the middle up with spines,
oh, then they're fine, but that's not easy to take.
Yeah, normally, if you try to take that quickly, Protoss just kills it. But I'm excited to see how he actually wants to play the map. Like, will he continue with this fast Viper situation?
Parting has requested, I believe, a short break here. So we'll be talking for a little bit more. At least this is not a one-sided series.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that
TY against
they each won a
MMA
game here.
was pretty bad.
Because 3-1s can be very close.
Yeah.
3-0s. It's hard to call those close.
Well, we are actually going to go to a short break here as Parting has requested that break. So when we come back, we'll be going on to game number 3 here with Solar and Parting.